Hi, everybody, and welcome to our first Fitness Friday of 2026. Rosh and I took a little bit of a break in January, but I think it's a good opportunity for us to talk about fitness. My New Year's resolution is I'm going to go exercise. I'm going to do a lot more this year. If you're like most busy professionals dealing with work, life, family, you might have already fallen off the wagon where you don't have time to fit it in. And you're saying to yourself, with everything else that's going on, I just don't have time to exercise. But here's the reality. Your body doesn't need an hour workout to support high performance. It needs movement consistently throughout the day. And that's why I'm excited that we are covering physical fitness in today's episode. As always, I'm joined by my co-founder, Rasha Proctor, and our guest today is one of my very good friends and my personal trainer, Melanie Munoz. Melanie has over 13 years experience as a licensed massage therapist and 8 years as a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach. Her specialties blend bodywork, functional training to support recovery, performance, and overall well-being. She's also a sponsored triathlete. So not only does she do the work, she is an athlete herself. She's a trail runner, busy mom, and a business owner of Moonrise Wellness and Performance. Thank you, Melanie, for joining us today.
Yeah, hi. Thanks for having me today.
Let's just jump right into it. So, first question for you. I know since you do massage and you also train people, what do you see most often in busy professionals? What patterns do you see, and how do those patterns impact their energy and performance at work?
I think between doing body work and training, I think the most noticeable things that I see is people have like a forward posture. So their shoulders roll forward, their chest gets tight, their head starts to drift forward as they're working. Yep. And then from sitting,
Typing all
it's
day
like
long?
a little gremlin all day.
Yeah.
Tight hip flexors and weak glutes from sitting, just not getting enough movement. So those lateral rotators in the hips get really weak. And so then they start to have a lot of low back pain. Another one is having a lot of tension in the jaw and then the traps because all this gets tight, and then the shoulders start to creep up
If I'm
also.
stressed out, I get tons of tension in my jaw, and then I feel like my shoulders are hurting, my back's hurting. And I see Rasha, you're nodding your head too, right?
Yeah, so just being in your own body, you feel like you're loose and things, and then you look in the mirror and you're just kind of like,
And I know later you're going to demonstrate some stretches and exercises that you can do just sitting at your desk. So that'll be awesome. One of the things that people have this misconception about is that you have to set aside at least an hour to exercise, and it has to be a long period of time. It's got to be intense to matter. And if it's not, then it really didn't do anything. Can you talk about that? Can you do short consistent movements or desk stretches or things throughout the day?
yeah, I think naturally our body adapts to frequency and repetition than feeling like you have to just knock out 1 hour workout a day. Little movements throughout the day start to compound and build. And then you can add more intensity if you want to do more of a workout, but you don't have to have intensity to have that just compounded movements to fire your muscles, get blood flow to the area, just, you know, stretch. It also helps the mental health as well, just to get some movement.
We talk about that, right? Just in the mindfulness practices, we talk about just getting outside and getting some fresh air and doing maybe a short walk. Rasha, could you talk like how blending that together, just that movement?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually one of the first piece of our framework. You ground, and to ground, you have to physically move in some ways or connect to the ground and connect to the breath and come into your body. And I think the problem is when people thinking and saying all day, they leave their body behind. All what's working is just this part here. Everything else is gone.
Could you share, if somebody only has a few minutes of time, is there one or two movement habits during the workday that you would prioritize if they had, say, 5 minutes to do something in between a meeting? What would you prioritize to get that movement in throughout the day?
I really think the easiest movement you can do that's really good for the hips, especially if you're sitting all day, you're in meetings, is just doing some body weight squats. You could do 8 to 10 body weight squats once every couple hours, and you'll not only get the loading in your lower body, but you'll also be bracing your core, so you're getting a little bit of core work as well. My other favorite would be some shoulder rolls just to open your chest up. Like we talked about, your chest gets closed in, so just opening everything up, breathing, getting in there, just making sure that you're not getting locked up and having all kinds of pain.
That's a good reminder, just the shoulder rolls in between a meeting. I might not do a body weight squat on camera, but I might like before I jump on a call, like just reminding myself to bringing my shoulders up and down, shoulder rolls. Last week, Rosh and I were talking to people in our speaking engagement. They were all sitting at a table at lunch and just having them do some shoulder rolls at the end of it. They were coming up
Yeah.
to Rasha and talking about, oh, that was amazing. That was so awesome.
Yeah, it just feels good to open up. I think another easy one, say you have literally 30 seconds, is just sliding back a little bit and then just doing some forearm stretches,
That is
especially
so
if you're,
important because we're constantly using the mouse, the keyboard. Yeah, this always
yeah.
cramps up.
It is funny in body work when I'm doing a massage on somebody, I'll ask them if they use a particular side for mousing because if they use like a traditional mouse, stuff back here tends to get locked up and then their muscles in their hands get really tight. So it's important. We use our hands a lot all day long, so just getting those stretches in there.
Wanted to ask about the body squat. Are
Yeah.
you saying you literally stand and sit like squat toward your chair, or do you lift weight or carry weight while you do it, or what's that mean?
Well, if you're at work, it's hard to have weight.
Yeah, right.
You could
Yeah,
hold your water bottle in the
yeah.
middle
You
or
kind
something.
of hold my
But
little water
I'll
can. Yeah,
just demonstrate really quick. You could just slide back out of your chair, and then you just want to have your feet hip width, toes slightly out so that your femur can track outward. If you keep your toes straight ahead, you can get a little bit of pain in the knee. So you want to make sure that your toes are out a little, and then just pushing your hips back, come in, standing up. So most important is just pushing the hips back. So you can do 10 to your chair. Just real easy.
perfect.
I like to put my hands in the middle for balance. You definitely don't have to do that. That's just a habit of mine. Just keep myself centered.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Think,
I want
Melanie, that
to.
that motion of pushing your hips back is so important because I know even when I'm doing body squats with you or weighted squats, is that reminder is to hinge back at the hip is
Yeah.
important because a lot of people don't hinge very well.
And that goes a little bit back to the glutes being weak. A lot of people have weak glutes, which they just don't think about it. So the muscles in the body are always going to want to compensate. So their quads, hamstrings are going to be stronger than the glutes. Not always, but their body naturally wants to kind of pitch forward. And then that's when you get your knees really far in front of your toes. You're using your glutes a little bit, but not as much as you should. I always tell people to visualize pushing their hips back like you're going to try to reach a chair or something that's low so that they're also getting that depth as well.
Melanie, could you walk us through one or two desk friendly movements that you'd recommend to somebody that's been sitting all day in meetings?
I think an easy one is again the squat. So I'll show you a better view. So you want to have your feet about hip width, toes are going to be pointed slightly out. You want to soften your knees. You're going to slide your hips back. So you're going to initiate movement at your hip. Slide your hips back, come down, go as low as you can. That range of motion allows you. So if you have cranky knees, just don't go quite as low. But you want to make sure you're engaging your glutes. And then when you come back up, push your heels through the floor, come up and squeeze your glutes. And then adding one more step to that is just taking a nice big breath, bracing your core, brace, push your hips back. So you do about 10 or 12 of those just to get moving.
Before you move on, could I just ask you when you're doing a squat, do you want them to be slow? Should they be fast? Somewhere in between?
Going faster doesn't always mean that's better. I personally like to go a good moderate pace. You're giving your muscles a chance to fire. You're giving them a chance to contract. You can make it a little bit harder if you pause at the bottom, you'll get a little bit more glute engagement. If you came down 1, 2, 3, 4, pause, and then up quick.
Okay.
So an eccentric movement, but if you just go a moderate pace is great. You just don't wanna be be like this. Your chest starts to drop and stuff, so you wanna make sure you have your chest upright. A common mistake people tend to make is their chest will come forward. They'll do this. Just be mindful of your chest being upright.
Rasha, with the person that you work out with, they really focus on glute strength, especially for the back, giving
Yeah,
good glute
correct.
strength for the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Any other desk-friendly movements you wanna talk about?
Yeah, I like if you wanna get your heart rate up just a little bit, you're gonna march in place. So you wanna do opposite arm to opposite leg. So you'll come up. You can set a timer on your phone or your watch. Go for about 45 seconds to a minute. You just want to really put an emphasis on driving your knees up. You can go a little faster. That one, if you go a little faster, you're going to shoot your heart rate up. So it's okay to go faster on that one, but go a pace that you feel comfortable with and then try to add more time over the course of a few weeks.
I think that one's a really good one, especially if you're in between meetings. Not only are you doing cardio or shooting your heart rate up, but you're also just resetting your brain for the next activity or the next meeting. We emphasize that in our program, a 2-minute reset in between so that you can be fully present for the next meeting.
That one you can also do seated. So you can sit in your chair and you can just move your leg. You could be on a meeting and do that one as well.
You showed us the movement with your hands, but neck, shoulders, and wrists seem to be big pain points for professionals. I know I get stressed out, especially if I'm hunched over my computer and I'm working on content. I could get so focused on my work that I could be sitting there stationary for a couple of hours and time just going by. Is there a simple stretch for neck, shoulders, wrists, all those
Yeah,
types
so
of things?
yeah, so you can do a really good neck stretch. This one's pretty easy. Again, you can do it seated, but just rolling your head forward and then back and then side, side. If you want to get a little bit more of a stretch and kind of get your scalene here and your traps to come down, so you take one hand, pull your head, and then you're going to push down with the other arm so you get traction throughout this whole area. And then you can alternate your head in different directions to get more of a stretch. Those are good. I also like the shoulder rolls as I was showing you. So you go forward and then really emphasis on opening your chest when you go back. You want to feel your scapula drop a little bit. You're going to come back, hold, forward, back. You can also do these standing or seated. You can do some arm circles. You can go big circles, get those joints moving.
If you had to advise somebody, what's one movement you wish every professional would do at least once an hour?
For one, breathe. And then I'd say I'd have to go to squats are probably my favorite movement because it gets so much blood circulation that it not only do you feel a little bit better, but I feel like it gives you a little bit of mental alertness as well. So you're focusing in on the exercise. So you're taking your mind off work for a second. You're doing the squats, you're getting your heart rate up, you're getting some loading, blood circulation, and then you're moving back into your day. And it can take 30 seconds. So it's really easy to do. And like I said, over time it'll compound and you'll notice your legs will get a little stronger. You'll start to have a little less back pain from sitting all day. So I think that's just the easiest one that most people can do. If you do have a little bit of trouble doing a squat, you can also like hang on to the back of your chair. So then you're not loading your knees as much.
To your point, if you get stronger, then you could add some small weights to start
Yeah,
to
and then you
progress
can
with
do them
some
at
weights.
home. You can add a kettlebell, a dumbbell. Like I said, if you don't have access to much, you could always hold some water bottles that have ice in them or something just to get some sort of weight. So they're pretty universal exercise.
You mentioned breathing. Can you talk a little bit about the importance of breathing? When you and I work out, you have to remind me not to hold my breath on certain
Yeah.
exercises. Could you talk about the importance of breathing in exercise?
I think naturally throughout the day we do shallow breathing, so your diaphragm starts to get really tight. So you take a nice deep breath kind of opens everything up. But when we're talking about exercising, when you take a really big breath, you're expanding your lungs, but then you're also getting your core to engage. When you're doing a movement, say if I was doing a squat with some weight, I had a weight, so I'd want to brace my core because if not, if my core is weak, my chest is going to drop and then I'm going to get some like caving like this. And then all that can go to your low back. So you want to take a nice big breath, hold, brace your core, push your hips back, and then slow exhale as you come up. Same with any sort of pressing exercise. If you're doing bench press, overhead press, squats, deadlifts, you really want to focus on your breathing so that you're bracing your core. Some people like to hold their breath and then they get lightheaded or things like that. So we want to try and avoid those things.
Rasha, I think this is a perfect opportunity to talk about the importance of breathing. I know a lot of us are shallow breathers, and in our awakening performance program to talk about breathing. Could you do maybe a 5-minute breathing meditation for the group?
For sure. And thank you, Melanie. I'm glad you brought that up because exactly as you said, a lot of people, we sit in front of the computer all day, and I'm one of them. And you close in and you start breathing only this much while you have all that area of your chest to breathe through and engage your core. One of my favorite exercise, and a lot of people like it, especially those who start with our program, the simplest one we always start with is called tactile breathing meditation. It's for tranquility, but also it's really good for people to connect with the movement of the breath. We start with one hand on the chest, another on the belly. I'm going to stand to show you guys like this here. That way you feel how you inhale and exhale, what that feels like in the body. So we're going to inhale and exhale through the nose. Feel free to close your eyes. I'll guide you guys through it. You're seated. You're going to lift up the chest. The top of the head, the crown of the head is straight up. Because a lot of times people either drop their head forward or their head back. Make sure the crown of the head directly toward the sky. Feel the chair underneath you. Your shoulders relax. One hand on the chest, another on the belly. Now bring your awareness to the tip of the nose. Feel the sensation of the cool air coming in and the warm air leaving the body. 2 more. Next time, as you inhale, see the breath going through into the nostril, upper chest, middle chest, lower chest. Belly expand as you inhale, and then gently falls toward the spine as you exhale. Lower belly, chest, relax toward the spine, warm air leaving the body. Take your time, 3 more rounds. You may not feel the movement, and that's okay. Just imagine it. Your shoulders relaxed. And then you exhale all the breath out. Don't rush the breath. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, gently, fully sinking deeper into the chair. Inhale, crown of the head towards the sky. Exhale, when you're ready, gently and fully connecting to Mother Earth. Inhale, fill the chest, the 3 compartments of the chest. And exhale, fully emptying out any stale air might be hanging there. In the back, maybe corners of the lungs. One last round at your own pace, feeling the breath nurturing you, taking care of you. And as you exhale, let go of any tension, worries, maybe pain you feel in the body. And when you're ready, relax the hands by your thighs. Then go ahead, open the eyes.
Feel refreshed.
It's always nice. Rasha has this amazingly soothing voice. Sometimes people are almost falling asleep.
I could see that happening.
Thank you, Melanie, for joining us. I know we are going to share a link when we post this on our YouTube channel. We'll have a link to your stretches for busy working professionals, and we're going to share those in the comments so people can download that and follow along. But I know that you just launched a new business. So could you tell us a little bit more about your business, your company, and your signature online course that you have created?
Going back to my massage background and personal training, I get complimented all the time about how like both translate into each other. I really put an emphasis on corrective exercise and deep diving to get to the root of people's problems. I really wanted to make a wellness business that starts to hit not only is exercising important, but people tend to lack the body work aspects, stretching, mobility, physical touch, getting massage, getting the scar tissue out, flushing the body out. People just naturally want to go, 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 go all the time. And so I really created this business with people having a full rounded wellness. So physical activity, having massage, not as just a luxury, but like as healthcare. People tend to look at massage and just think like spa work. I do more of a therapeutic level of massage. So, working on injuries, helping people get back to the activities that they love, they don't want to quit doing. So we got to get them better and healthy.
Because you're local to Austin and the Cedar Park area, that you do massage in different locations. How can they get in touch with you?
So, very exciting. Finally launching my website. It's moonrisewellness.com. It has all the information you could ever want about the coaching that we do, and then the 2 locations that I work at is out of a Apex Sports Medicine here in Cedar Park. I do massage there, and then I work out of a chiropractic office, Central Austin. I know people in Austin don't wanna come all the way to Cedar Park, and people in Cedar Park don't wanna come all the way, so I have 2 locations to accommodate people in both areas.
Next time. That's exciting, Melanie. Could you tell us a little bit more about Moonrise Foundation? I know that's your online training program, but could you dive into the details of that training program a bit more?
Moonrise Foundation is the name of the initial program that you're going to start with on the app. So you get 30 days to build the foundation, get your workouts in, and then from there we want to have a solid base so that we can keep building up to make you stronger through mobility, strength training, endurance. The foundation is your starting point. We're building a nice solid base so that you can take those and then build into something stronger over time.
After you finish that foundation and you start to build that base, you do a little bit more customization in the workout depending on what people's goals are.
It's a little bit more one-on-one. The first 30 days is just to get you going, build consistency, get you moving, get you motivated, and then the next phase of the cycle is going to be a little more one-on-one to your goals. Say you have a marathon, then we can do strength training for runners that can build those muscles to make them injury-free, stronger, faster. Or if you want to be just really, really strong, maybe we could just focus on strength training, but we want to keep the stretching and the mobility in there so that your muscles don't get locked up and you're not having pain and injuries. So that tends to get neglected a little bit. A great way to build stronger is to keep the mobility.
I think that's what I love about your program the most is that having been an athlete, you understand that it's really important not just to focus on one aspect of physical fitness. You've got this approach, which is holistic, which is strength, cardio, fitness, the stretching and the mobility, and also being a massage therapist. I think that's what separates you from other providers out there.
Yeah, and the platform's great too on the app because if you message me, I don't know about my form, please send me a video. I'm really good at corrective exercise, so I can look and see, oh, well, that muscle's not firing or that looks a little off. Let's do these exercises or stretches to help get you over that. You don't feel like lost in the dark.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Melanie, for joining us today. And always, Rasha, thank you for that 5-minute breathing meditation. That was helpful too. Thanks, everybody, for joining our Fitness Friday, and we'll see you next time.